Hi everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at Unit 1.10. We're going to be adding and subtracting unlike fractions. Again, this is on page 126. Go ahead and put today's date up there. So just like with the last time, we're going to be looking at unlike fractions, but specifically we're going to look at mixed numbers today. So that's going to be our two goals for today. So we're going to add unlike mixed numbers. And we're going to subtract unlike mixed numbers. All right. So if you weren't a big fan of borrowing, become a fan quickly because that's how I'm going to show it for today. All right. It's just, it gets really, really complicated whenever you try to do the improper fraction way. You can do it that way. You can also use something called the butterfly method. You can try all that stuff. It's just, it does get a little bit crazy with the numbers sometimes. So I don't like to show that way anymore just because kids get so frustrated because you end up with like 678 over 402 and it's like, well, I don't know what to divide by. So you guys sit there and just keep dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing and eventually you finally get your way down. All right, let's take a look though. Okay, so it says find each sum and write in simplest form. So the first thing we need to do again is look at the denominators. Okay, so look at the first one. Can I actually take the 4 and change it into a 10? And the answer is no. All right, so what we need to do is draw our little box from yesterday. So let's draw the box first. So when I put my 10 and my 4 in, okay, actually let me change that and put it over here on the side so I've got more room because it's not really significant where my box is, but it just helps if all my work is together. Okay, so 10 and 4. All right, so what's the highest number that goes into 10 and 4? And that would be 2. Okay, then remember, it's upside down division, so where this actually is. So 10 divided by 2 would be 5. 4 divided by 2 would be 2. Okay, cross them. All right, so what do I need to multiply by? I need to multiply by 2 and by 5. Okay, so let's do this. So it's going to be negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6, and then over 20, plus, and then it's going to be negative 5, and then we're going to have 15 twentieths. All right? Now, we got to figure out, do we have same signs or different signs? We have a negative and a negative. So same signs, add and keep. So we have technically nothing there, so 0 and 5. So that's going to be negative 5. And then I have 6 plus 15, and that's going to give me 21 over 20. Okay? Now, if you remember back from the last time we did mixed numbers or whatever, you just take the second part off here and work that out. So 21 out of 20 is 1 and 1/20. So we just add the whole 1 to the 5. So this is actually going to be negative 6 and 1/20. All right. So if you need to rewind and watch that again, go ahead and do so. And if you think you've got it, go ahead and try the got it questions. If not, watch me on one more and then take it from there for 2B and C on your own. And you can go ahead and need another example if you want. All right, let's take a look at 2A. So we have 3 3/4 plus 5/14. So can I change the 4 into a 14? And the answer is no. So let's draw our box right here. A little bit of convenient spot. So we have 4 and we have 14. What's the highest number that goes into both of those? That would be 2. So we're going to have a 2 here and a 7 here. We're going to cross them. So I need to multiply the 4 by 7. I need to multiply these by 2. Okay, so that's going to be 3 and 21/28 plus 10/28. So 3 plus 0 gives me 3. 21 plus 10 would be 31. 28ths. Okay, I'm going to have 3 left over, so that's actually going to be 4 and 3/28. Let me just go ahead and write over top of this. 4 and 3/28. I'll have to write smaller next time. Didn't realize I was writing that big. All right, let's take a look at 2b. So we have -6 and 8/9 plus 7 and 5/12. So whenever I do those, I need to look. Can I change 9 into 12? No. So let's draw my little box up here. And what's the highest number that goes into 9 and 12? That would be 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 makes 4. So whenever I cross multiply those, I'm going to multiply by 4 and by 3. All right, so we're going to have -6. Let me just draw a bar through here so that separates it. Okay, so we'll have -6, and then I'm going to have 32 over 36 plus, and then it's going to be 7, and it's going to be 15 over 36. All right, so this is where it kind of gets a little bit weird here. So what we actually need to do is look at the sign rules, okay, and say, do I have same signs or do I have different signs? And the answer is I have different signs. So I actually need to subtract these, okay? So can I do 6 minus 7? No. Can I do 7 minus 6? Yes. So I could work it backwards, but if I do that, then I'm going to end up with 15 over, trying to take 15 from 32. So that's not going to work, okay? So what I actually need to do here is I just need to switch it around, okay? And then we're actually going to borrow again on top of it. So we're going to borrow and switch all at the same time. So whenever I borrow 1, I will subtract 1 off of this one, so it's now going to become 6, okay? Then I'm going to take my 36 and add it to my 15. That's going to give me 51, yeah, 51 over 36, okay? And then it's going to become minus, and then this one's already good to go, so it's going to be 6 and 32 over 36. All right. Now we're ready to go. So 6 minus 6, which is 0, so that was pretty cool. And then we have 51 minus 32, that's 19, yeah, 19 over 36. All right, so let me go through that one again. All right, I'm going to assume you understood how I got the 36 and all that stuff. All right, what happens is you need to be able to subtract because we have different signs. Remember, same sign, so 2 positives or 2 negatives, you have to add and keep. Different signs, so 1 negative, 1 positive, you have to subtract. All right, so whenever you have that, you need to be able to subtract everything. All right, so I can't do 6 minus 7. I can already see that from the beginning. So I need to switch the whole thing around. So if I did 7 minus 6, that would work, but I can't do the 15 minus 32. So if I need to do that, then I need to borrow. So I took the 7 and 15/36 and I switched it here. I'm going to draw a little arrow. We can do it that way if that helps you. Okay, so that one we just switched it around. Okay, then from there we did the borrowing rule, which is subtract one whole, add the bottom to the top. All right, and then from there we worked it out. Okay, let's try 2C. So we have 3 and 3/5 and -4 and 5/6. So I already know I can't make the 5 into a 6. That's a no-brainer, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw our box here. So we have 5 and we have 6. It's going to be 1, so we just have to multiply them by each other. So this is going to be times 6, and this is going to be times 5. Okay. If you can see far enough ahead, you can reverse it from the very beginning. I usually don't look that far ahead, but if you know it's not going to work immediately, you can go ahead and switch at any time. Okay, so we're going to do 3, and that'll be 18/30 plus -4, and it'll be 25/30. Okay, it's the same thing this time. I can't do 3 minus 4. It just doesn't work. Okay, And even if I did actually use the negative rules, I can't do the 18 minus 25 thing. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reverse it just so it looks a little bit better. So if I have negative 4 and 25/30ths plus 3 and 18/30ths, it's going to look a little bit better. Okay. Now let's use the actual negative rule, which is subtract. So can I do 4 minus 3? Yes, I can do 4 minus 3. That's going to be negative 1. Okay. Can I do 25 minus 18? Yes, I can do that, and it's going to be 17. Oh, I'm sorry, 7, not 17, 7. Okay, so 7 and then over 30. All right. Oh, I wrote 38. Sorry. What I was doing there. 30. There we go. Sorry. So this one you could have actually worked it the way it was. You just would have had to go from right to left, but that does bother a lot of people. And honestly, with fractions, it gets really, really hard and complicated. So I always just try to make sure that the bigger whole number is over on the left, along with the top or the bigger numerator. Okay, so try to get both big things over on the other side. Okay, let's try the next one. All right, we have 2 1/8 plus negative 3 2/3. So let's put our 8 and 3 in a box because we know 3 won't turn into 8. And it's going to be 1, so it's going to be 8 and 3. So it's just multiplying by each other. So this is going to be a 24 on the bottom here. Okay, so we're going to have 2 and 3 24ths plus negative 3 and then 16 24ths. All right, so again, ask yourself, can you do 2 minus 3? No. All right, so let's just go ahead and reverse it, although it would technically work out, but let's just not go there. Okay, so let me just do a big equal sign here and let's switch these around. So let's do negative 3 and 16 24ths plus, and then we'll have 2 and 3 24ths. Okay, now again, we have different signs, subtract. So we need to do 3 minus 2, which would be 1. It's negative because there's more negatives, so negative 1, and then 16 minus 3, which is 13, then over 24. And that's going to be it. All right, let's try example 3. All right, this time we're subtracting. All right, so first we need to get the common denominator. So we know it's going to be 15. You can just look at it and tell. So we're going to multiply these by 3, these by 5. All right, so let's go here. So we have 9, and we have 9 over 15 minus 7 and 10 over 15. Okay, so can I do 9 minus 7? Yes, I can do 9 minus 7. Can I do 9 minus 10? No, I can't do 9 minus 10. So what do I need to do? I need to borrow. So when I borrow, I subtract 1 from here, so that's going to be 8. And then I take the bottom, which is 15, and I add it to the top 9, so that's going to give me 24. So it's going to be 24 over 15 minus, and then 7 and 10/15. Okay. Can I do 8 minus 7? Yes, that's going to be 1. Can I do 24 minus 10? Yes, that's 14. And then over 15, and there's my answer. All right, let me draw the box here just in case you guys got lost on that part. I'm assuming by now you've got it all figured out. All right, let's try these by yourselves. And let's take a look. Okay, so we have 7 1/6 minus 6 5/8. So let's make our little box. All right, so we have to multiply by 4 and by 3. All right, so whoops, let's put that there. Okay, so we have 7, we have 1 times 4, which is 4, 6 times 4, which is 24, minus, and then we have 6, and we are going to have 15 over 24. All right, same thing again. I can do 7 minus 6. That part's easy, and that'll work out, but I can't do 4 minus 15. So we're going to subtract 1 whole, which makes us 6. We're going to take 24 and add it to 4, so that's 28 over 24 minus 6, and then we'll have 15 over 24. Okay, now can I do 6 minus 6? Yes, that's 0, but you can do it. Okay, can you do 28 minus 15? And the answer is yes, I can do that, and that's going to give me 13. So I get 13 over 24. All right, 3C. So we have 5 1/3 minus negative 4 5/9. All right, so can I change the 3 into a 9? Yes, I actually can. All I got to do is multiply by 3. So that saves me some time here. All right, so we're going to do 5, and then we'll do 3/9. Now we're going to do keep, change while we're here. So this is actually become plus positive. So it'll be 4 and then 5/9. All right, so since it's adding, we just get to add, so that makes it easy. So 5 plus 4 makes it 9, 3 plus 5 makes it 8, and then 9 8/9. All right, let's go to the next one. It says 4 2/3 minus 3 6/7. So let's kind of draw the box over here out of the way. So we have 3 7, and that's going to be a 1, so it's just going to be the opposites of each other, so 21. All right, so we got 4 and 14 21st minus 3 and 18 21st. Okay, so when you look at this, you can already tell I can do 4 minus 3. That's great, but I can't do my 14 minus 18, so I'm going to have to borrow it. All right, so here we go. Let's see, do I want to put it on top or on bottom? Let me just squeeze it underneath here. I think it'll be okay. All right, so we'll do 3 here. We'll do 21 plus 14, so that'll be 35 over 21 minus, and then it'll be 3 and then 18 over 21. Okay, so 3 minus 3 will give us our 0, and then we'll have 35 minus 18. That should give us 17, so we'll have 17 over 21. All right, let's take a look at example 4. To set up a computer network in an office, a 100-foot cable is cut and used to connect 3 computers to the server as shown. How much cable is left to connect the 3rd computer? All right, so I didn't give you all the measurements here, so sorry about that. You should have 19 1/8. You should have 40 3/4. And then we're trying to find the missing one. All right. All right, so we're going to add those together. So we're going to have 19 1/8 plus 40 3/4. Whoops. There we go. Sorry, that's 0. All right, so can I change my 4 into an 8? Yes, I can. I'm just going to multiply by 2. So this will be 19 1/8 plus 40 6/8. We're adding here, so we just get to add. So that's going to make it 59 7/8. Okay, so that means we've already used that much. They want to know how much is left, though, for the third computer. So we started with 100 foot, and we had to take off 59 and 7/8. Okay? All right, so I know I can do 100 minus 59. That's the easy part, but there's no fraction. So what do? I need to change this into a fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow one whole, and then remember that 100 would actually be 100 right? We don't write fractions like that, but that's really what a whole number is 100 So whatever, when I need to borrow, that's going to become 99 here, and then 8 plus 0 would be 8, so it's actually 99 and 8/8 minus 59 and 7/8. Like that. All right, then I need to subtract them, so that's going to give me 40 and 1/8 of a foot. All right, 2 more to go. At a recent frog jumping contest, the winning frog jumped 21 1/3 feet. Second place frog jumped 20 1/2 feet. How much farther did the first place frog jump? So we have 21 1/3 minus 20 1/2. All right, so we should know that this is 6, just looking at it. All right, so that's going to be 21 2/6 minus 20 3/6. Oops. All right, and of course, because they can't be nice to us even once, we are going to have to borrow. All right, so this is going to be 20 8/6 minus 20 3/6. 20 minus 20 makes 0. 8 minus 3 makes 5. So that's 5/6. And in this case, it's feet. Or foot, I guess. 5/6 of a foot. All right, last one. Go ahead and try it on your own. And let's take a look. Ju-young jogged 3 days this week for a total of 11 17/20 miles. If she jogged 3.5 miles one day and 4.5 miles another day, how many miles did she jog the third day? So we need to first add them together. So we're going to have 3.5 plus 4.5, fourth. And then from there, we need to times this one by 2. So that's going to make it 3 2/4 plus 4 1/4, which is going to make that 7 3/4. Okay, now we need to take 11 17/20 minus the 7 3/4. Well, we know that 4 is going to go into 20, so we need to multiply by 5. So I end up with 11 17/20 minus 7 15/20. And ooh, we don't have to borrow on this one. It's kind of sad we get excited over those things, but it is what it is. All right, so 11 minus 7 gives us 4. 17 minus 5 gives us 2. 4 2/20 would be 4 1/10. Okay, and in this case, it's going to be miles. And that is it, my friends. We are all done for this lesson. So this one's kind of one of the big hooplas of the year. So feel free to watch this several times if you need to. Watch it on YouTube, or if you're already on YouTube, just back it up and watch it again, whatever. Okay, and that's it. So thanks so much for hanging in there, and I'll see you next time.